Anna, welcome back to the podcast. It has been such a long while. I'm so glad you're back here.
I know, I can't believe that it has been that long, but I'm really excited to be back on.
Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to this convo. And before we even dive in, like you are glowing right now. You look so relaxed, so glowy, so just like at peace. What is the secret? What's going on right now?
Oh my gosh,
Let's
I'm just getting lots of like time outside. That's like my cure for everything. That's why I'm sitting outside right now too. It's just, yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
funny how
makes a big
even just
difference.
like doing work and stuff outside, I do that a lot at coffee shops. I go sit on the patio and I feel like I may as well be on a vacation in France doing my little work there. And I feel like I'm on a vacation. It changes the energy of everything.
It really does. Yeah.
It is so good. So it's been like a year since you were on the podcast. I think you did a hot seat. And then before then, it was like a year or even more when you came on and shared more of your story and lessons learned building your business. And so I feel like it's definitely about time we had you back on to share your updates because so much has changed over the last few years. So I think you came in and joined us in the academy in 2024. So it's
Yeah.
like 2.5-ish years right now that you've been in. And it's been beautiful to just like witness the growth of your business and also the growth of you as a business owner. Like I've seen such huge shifts in your mindset, in your energy of how you show up for your business, in your the way you're willing to scale now. We can maybe chat about that from like being anti-cast to being like open to casting and stuff. And I also have seen a huge shift in your priorities in life, which we can maybe talk about a bit as well, because I think it's natural as business owners to go through different seasons of life. Like you had your son over the last, I think he's a year and a half now, isn't he?
He's
He's
two. He's
two.
turning two in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge life shift. That's a huge chapter shift. And that changes our priorities, which changes how we grow our business. And I think you've just done such a beautiful job navigating these changes, showing up for your business through the thick of having a newborn and having a toddler. And also just like really being open to changing the way you've been doing things in your business. And I think it's going to be such an inspiring thing for our listeners, anyone who is about to become a mother or who is in the thick of motherhood, who's wanting to grow their business, but also enjoy that season, to hear your story and hear like not just the wins you've navigated, but like the mindset work you've done behind the scenes to help you navigate that even better. So before we even dive in, give everyone a little intro as to who you are and what you do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Anna, which we covered. I live in Vancouver, but I'm Swedish originally, and I've lived here for about 9 years now. And I moved to Vancouver because I met my partner when I was traveling, and he lived here, so I came
Well,
to join him. Didn't realize that I would still be here, hoping that I would still be here, but yeah, um, this many years later, and now we have a 2-year-old together as well, William. Um, and I have a jewelry business called Silfr Metal Art, or Silfr by Anna on Instagram, where I make handmade forest inspired jewelry that helps people feel or stay more grounded and connected to nature. It's
mm,
always been really important to me. I grew up on the countryside in Sweden, and moving to a big city, I just felt it was important to keep that connection with me at all times because I'm definitely not a city person
oh my
otherwise.
gosh, I hear
Um,
you. That's me
yeah,
too. I am the
totally.
same. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
do cities. And if I do, like, yeah, when I need as much connection to nature as possible.
exactly. And then there's also this part of like getting a little bit older and just doing adult things all day long. And I just remember how we played in nature as kids and all the like how the imagination was running wild. And I often miss that in my day to day. And so I want my jewelry to help people hold on to a bit of that the wonder and the childish like play, I guess,
Mm.
um, as we navigate adult life too. So
Which is a lot sometimes.
yeah, yeah, no, it really is. So
Oh, I love that so much, Anna. So, let's do a little throwback to before 2024, before you came and joined me in the academy and started working with me and joined the community. What was going on in your jewelry business? Do you remember? What was going on? Where were you? What was kind of feeling like the hardest part of your business or the hardest thing to figure out on your own at that stage?
well, one thing that I was really struggling with at the time before I started working with you, Robin, was I felt like my business had plateaued. I
Mm,
started my business just a couple of months before COVID hit, um, which was absolutely devastating for everyone, of course. But I will say one thing, and that's that people really started showing up for local small businesses. And so it actually gave my business a kickstart.
mhm,
Um, and then fast forward a few years, things didn't slow down, but they also weren't moving forward. And I didn't really know how to navigate that and how to continue growing the business into something bigger than it was. I knew that I wasn't yet where I wanted to be with the business. And
mm,
then I got pregnant. And I thought, I'm working such long hours every day, and I'm enjoying it. I love what I'm doing, but the days are really long. And I'm passionate about the business and I wanted to keep running, but how am I going to do that when I have a baby at home too?
mhm,
So that was probably the main reason why I thought if I'm going to get help and support, now's the time. So it was like 6 months left, I think, before I had my baby when I signed up for one of the calls with you, to see if it was for me, and that's where it all started.
Oh my gosh,
um,
it's crazy because I remember you coming in, but I forgot that you came in already like a couple of months pregnant. Like, so you signed up for this program knowing in 6 months I'm having a baby. Like, it's going to be a huge shift. And huge shout out for you for having the initiative to do that because just what I've seen a lot of women who are about to have a baby do is they check out a little bit of like, that's future me's problem, but it's very hard for future you to solve all those problems when you have a newborn. What's your advice for someone who's thinking of having a baby and they're growing their business or is pregnant and like is like, you know, should I get support now or should I wait till after when the baby's here? Like, what would you say to them? What was like, what are you grateful you did or what would you do differently?
well, first of all, I would say maybe don't wait as long as I did. That's one of like I wish I would have asked for help sooner. Um, because I just felt like every time, like every day that I didn't have the support and I was just desperately Googling generic advice to try and figure out how to even like run a jewelry business, it was just a waste of time where I could have easily, like, I could have just had that support from the get-go, a person that I was able to ask questions, someone who has insight into how things work. So that for one, don't wait
Mm-hmm.
too long. But also, you know, I am so happy that I signed up before I had William because it gave me time to get some systems in place before
Mm-hmm.
William arrived. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because time was very limited after that. So
Mm,
we made some changes ahead of that. We got my wholesale systems set up. I got a catalog made. Um, I did pop-ups, um, and simplified the way that I did pop-ups too, so they didn't feel so overwhelming to do.
Hmm.
Also simplified my collection so that I had repeatable designs, so that I wasn't, because that's what I was doing before I started with you, was I was only making one of a kind collections,
Hmm.
which was so fun, but so much work. And I just needed a shift in how I was doing things so that it didn't take so much of my time doing the same thing over and over. Um, and by that, I mean, creating a design, having to write product descriptions, having to take photos of that one piece. There's so much work goes into every single piece. And then once it's
Hmm.
sold, you don't have any more jewelry, and then everything just starts over again.
Yeah.
But by having repeatable designs, I only had to do like all of that kind of surrounding work once, and then focus on just making the jewelry after that.
Mm.
So, so yeah, I'm really glad that I signed up before William to be able to get all that in place.
Yeah, I remember you getting like taking a lot of action while you were pregnant with William, and it's all coming back to me now how we were like looking at like, okay, how do we make sure, because you're not going to be working the first few weeks when you have your baby. How can we get some recurring revenue coming in from stores and from like other revenue streams essentially? Um,
Exactly.
what would you say was your biggest win in those first 6 months before you had William?
Um, I had so many in those first 6 months. Honestly, it was just one after the other. I got my first wholesale order, and it was a big one too, which was so exciting. And that came in the month I had William. That, and like,
Mm.
which brings me to my second win, was my 10K month, my first 10K month. um, which was, yeah, same month as having William. I worked a little bit too much there towards the end, I will say. I could have tried to hit that like maybe a couple months earlier. But I work really, really well with a deadline. So I kind of left it till last minute,
Oh
but it
my
went so
gosh.
well. It went really well. So that was a big one, just getting wholesale systems in place.
Mm.
And getting a new website set up that was more optimized, and simplifying my collection. I got new um, packaging designed and like printed in a much more streamlined way too. I like simplified what materials I was using, and it like work just became so much easier
Mm.
um, during those 6 months. But yeah, I would say getting my first wholesale order, um, and hitting that 10K in those first 6 months, that was my biggest takeaway, probably.
I mean, what an achievement to have your first $10,000 sales month, the month you're having your first baby. I mean, put all
So
your
crazy.
milestones in 1 month. I love
I
it.
know, I know. And thanks to simplifying things as well, and getting the packaging and pricing right at the time,
Mhm.
got me well set up in consignment stores and things too, so that I had things bringing in pretty much, um, like, yeah, bringing in revenue the whole time while I was off with William for the second half of the year. So
Mm. What did it feel like to hit that 10K month? Especially like what did that mean to you? What did it feel like, especially in that season of life?
it snuck up on me. Like, I hadn't actually realized until I sat down and I was looking at it, and it was like there was a lot of things that added up that month. But it was a proof of concept for me, most of all, because I knew that after this, I'm gonna step back a little bit and I'm not gonna be working as much.
Hmm.
But the fact that I was able to do this at this stage in life, with so much other stuff going on and definitely not feeling my best, was a proof
Hmm.
of concept that if, on a like regular in a regular month, like, of course I can do this again and again and
Yeah.
again later, when I feel like I've got more time back. So that was very cool, and very, it just made my business feel way more, I don't know what word to use for it, but it just legitimized everything more, I guess.
Yeah. Getting like actually stacking evidence that like what you're dreaming of is possible and like seeing it and seeing those sales, it's the best feeling ever. And the fact that you did it while like 9 months pregnant,
Yeah,
about to have your baby or having the
just
baby the
crazy.
same month. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, you're so right. It's like, well, if I can do this in this the craziest month of life,
yeah.
y- anything's possible. Like now, like we can expand our goals. We can achieve so much more. So I love that. And what role, like, and I want to be careful the way we word this because I think I want everyone listening to know that when you come and join me in the Jewelry Business Academy, and when you come and work with me, I don't have a magic wand that I wave where it's like, boom, welcome, Anna. Here's your wins. You're going to wake up and all the sales will be in your email and your Shopify account. Like, we don't have that yet. Maybe one day, but we don't have a magic wand. So, when we're talking about these wins, like I want to be very clear that like you went and showed up and took action and did the work to like make these come to life. But I'd love to know what role you think working with me, being in the academy, played just in helping you, build a business that could create momentum during such a full personal season.
Um, I think it's important. Yeah, like I think it's really important when starting to work with you, Robin, that you you go into it believing, like truly believing that because this worked for other people, there's no reason why it wouldn't work for me as well, which I feel like we talk about that a lot, like the
Hmm.
mindset that you need to have. Um, I feel like uh, you need to, like you were saying, you need to be willing to do the work as much as like the framework is there, but it's up to you whether you do the things. And
Yeah.
I have a long list of things that I have still to do, and you've got all these mental blocks around certain things. I know I need to do them, and I know that they will have the result at the end of it. It's just getting yourself there, and that's where it's been so valuable to have the support, both from you and from other people in the academy too. But sorry, I don't know that I'm answering your question really. Could you repeat it
No, you
again?
did a
Just
you did a great job. You did a great job. I don't even remember what the question was, but I think you answered it there. So
yeah.
obviously, since William has come into the world 2 years ago, which is still crazy to me, what's really fun for anyone listening is Anna came to the jewelry business retreat last year, and William came with your husband. Like he didn't come to the retreat, but we saw him in between. And it was so, so special. It's the first baby that said hi at the retreat. So
Yeah.
that was so special. And also everyone on the calls knows him because he kind of joins sometimes. But it's been 2 years since that milestone month, and you've gone through a lot of changes in your business.
Yeah.
What would you say has been the biggest mindset block that you have overcome in the last 2 years in your business?
I think the biggest mindset block that I've overcome since I started working with you is that I don't need to do everything
Mhm,
in order for people to appreciate my work.
mhm,
Because when I first started working with you, I still had this belief that the reason why people buy my jewelry is because I made every single thing by hand, like myself in my studio working day and night. Um, in my mind, I was like, they're paying for my time. They're not paying for my jewelry or for my designs or, you know.
mhm,
Um, so realizing that people actually love my jewelry and what it stands for, um, and will continue to invest in my pieces because that is what they're after. And they're not nitpicking like um, what like who put who put the necklace on the card, or which I'm still doing, but it's just that like knowing that I can get help doing some of these things in the
Hmm.
future, and it doesn't take away from the value of the jewelry itself.
Oh, I love this
So
so much.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a huge shift in knowing that I can have people help me, and um, it's going to enable me to grow my business, and people are still going to love the jewelry.
Ugh, I love it so much. How does that feel? Knowing, like, having worked through this, how does it feel to know that your business doesn't have to rely on you only to be able to scale, to be able to sell? Like, how does it feel?
Well, it's a relief because I always saw that as like the big reason why I could never have a business that um, grew past a certain point,
Hmm.
because I'm always the bottleneck for everything.
Hmm.
Um, and so it just means that it just opens up a world of opportunities, really. So yeah, huge relief once I came to realize that.
It's beautiful, Anna. It makes me so happy because it's kind of funny. I hope you're okay with me sharing this, but we can edit it out if not. I remember us having multiple conversations when you came in around not having to do every part of like, the business, especially when it comes to making every single piece. And there was some resistance there. And only when William came along, thank goodness for William, William was like the thing that changed things. Talk to us about how your priorities shifted when William came on the scene.
I think yeah, it made a big difference. Because once before you have a baby, you don't know how you're going to feel afterwards. I had this
Mhm.
idea that I was going to be hustling the whole time. I was like, he's going to sleep all the time. I can just like work while he's sleeping. And I don't know, it was just not being realistic at all. But yeah, I just love spending time with him. He's such an amazing little person that I just want to spend every day, like every hour of every day with him, ideally, which is not always possible, but as much as I can.
Mhm.
And um, yeah, slowly there was resentment started to build up every time I had to go to the studio for like a really long day and be away from him. Um, so I wanted I wanted the hours that I spent working to actually pay off.
Mhm.
Before, it was more of a passion project where, I don't mind working really long hours because I love being in the studio and I love making jewelry. And it's like a hobby that I get to do for work. So who cares if I don't make huge profits, or, the business it's just like keeping itself going kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but now those hours that I was spending in the studio were like valuable time away from my son. So um when I am away from William, I want that time to matter.
Mhm.
So yeah, sorry, I forgot the beginning of that question, but that was sort of how it started. I just
Yeah.
really felt like um I need systems in place so that things just get more efficient. I want to still design pieces the way I have been in the past, but I want to spend my time creating and not getting stuck in the hamster wheel of like creating one thing and
Mhm.
then spending months just recreating the same thing over and over, because
Yeah.
that's not a good use of my time.
It's not.
People like my jewelry for the designs, not for my hours away in this dark studio where like no one sees me. No one sees that
Yeah.
anyway, right? And I don't like, that's not what it's about. So, yeah, I want to make sure, and it's still a work in progress, but shift into spending my time creating new things for people to wear, and then ask for the help that I need in order to make those pieces like come to life later,
Yeah.
for
And
more people to enjoy.
I'm just so glad that you've made this shift because I know you're still maybe transitioning some of your pieces over to this new structure. But like you said earlier, like the actual steps in business are not necessarily that complex. It's these mindset blocks that we have of, oh, I don't think people will buy if I do this. Oh, I don't think that's like valid handmade if someone else is helping me make them. Like we have all these stories on a loop and everyone's stories are different. And so those tasks that you need to do to actually like let go of some pieces and get someone helping you and get other hands on your jewelry, it's a straightforward process on one level, but like it's the block that we have around like, well, who am I to do this? Or will people buy? It's our limiting belief. So that to me is just beautiful that you shifted and moved through that. And I like you said, I think having William was just like such a blessing in so many ways, but also to like reprioritize your focus and reprioritize your life. I love, love, love working with mothers because, especially mothers to young children, they are the most productive and they are really open to cutting all the fluff and just diving right in. People who have a bit too much time on their hands sometimes want to like dip their fingers in all the things and hold on to things too long. Mothers are much better at being like, okay, no, I'm ready to like double down here, focus, let go of all the stuff I don't have to do, work less hours and make more money. And you kind of have a stronger why. Would you say you're even more driven to make more money now that you have William?
Yeah, yeah, I am. And I think one of the reasons for that is like there's no going back now. I don't know. I just like I don't think that I could ever go back to working for for someone else,
No.
being employed, having someone else decide what to do with my time, having to ask permission to go on vacation. Another thing is like my family's in another country. I want to be able to go visit them if I want to see them. I want to go.
Mm.
Um, so it has to work. So it's a
Mm.
great motivator. Um,
Yeah. And you just spent a
um,
month or 6 weeks with them
a
in
month,
Sweden?
yeah,
A
almost a
month?
month. Yeah.
What would you say is like your top four favorite things about being a jewelry business owner?
Top four favorite things. Well, being in charge of my own time is a huge one.
Mm,
Um, and being able to decide how and where I work as well. Like you can work from anywhere pretty much.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I like it all comes down to time. I was gonna say spending time with William,
Yeah.
you know, um, and yeah, sorry, I'm you caught me a bit off guard with this one. Listing things are not my strong side.
It's all good. I like honestly, I resonate so much with what you were saying because for me, time is also like time is the one resource you never get back.
Yeah,
Especially when you have a baby and they grow so insanely fast. Like it's like you don't have 3 months to just be like, in 3 months I'll think about it. Cool, you've missed a whole growth milestone, you know? And so for me, time's always been like my favorite part of being an entrepreneur is having ownership over my time and autonomy over what I do, when I do it, when I go on trips, when I stay home, when I'm sick and stay in bed and check out. Like,
a huge one.
and it's just the best part about it is you get those wins day one of being a full time entrepreneur. Whereas some of the other wins that come like financial freedom and that takes time, that takes a lot longer. But your time ownership and like ownership over what you do and who you spend time with comes from day one of being an
Yeah,
entrepreneur,
absolutely, totally.
which is the
Um,
best.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I also love the creative side of it. The fact that I get to make things for a
Yeah.
living and just like really indulge in just imagination and creativity every day. Which I would really miss if I wasn't doing this. So
Yeah, it gives you such a deep sense of purpose. I can tell from the way you always light up, and even in your content and your marketing, like you have an obsession for what you do, like a healthy obsession, and it's magnetic and it's energizing to consume your content because I can tell the way you're showing up for your business right now is like maybe you obviously have ups and downs, but it's like energizing for you to talk about the work that you do, which I love. So over the last like 2.5 ish, 3.5 years, how long did we say you've been in? Three-ish years?
2.5 years, I think,
2.5.
at this point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What have been some of your other wins apart from your first 10K month? Knowing that you've gone through all the seasons of life right now.
Yeah. Well, that year, another huge win for me was the fact that my revenue dipped a little bit that year, but I only worked for 6 months, which was huge. The fact that
Compared to the
because
previous year.
yeah, yeah, because I just had this picture in my head of like, I'm gonna need to stop working at this point. I'm gonna make half the money or even less,
Yeah.
and yeah, it dipped a little bit, but like, what's else
Yeah.
is to be expected when you only work for 6 months, and I was able to take that much time off, just enjoying time with a newborn. So that was amazing. And
So
so yeah,
I love that. So just to clarify, you had your obviously 6 months of maternity leave, it sounds like.
yeah,
And so you essentially made in your first 6 months of coming in and joining us and working with us,
yeah,
uh, almost what you had made the previous 12 months in the business,
yeah,
the
almost.
previous
I
year,
think it was
just a
down
little
maybe
under in
15,
6 months.
20% down
Yeah,
or something, but like
amazing.
in 6 months' time. So it was a huge increase during those 6 months where I was working.
Love it.
But yeah, but I've had so many other wins, like just um, getting things in place that made me feel more confident in my business. Just such a thing as like getting proper business insurance, which we figured out really early on that you need to have that in place.
Yeah.
And also I rented my own studio, so I'm not working from home anymore. That was a huge milestone for me because I didn't want to be working with jewelry in our apartment with William around. I didn't want there to be like silver dust on the floor,
Yeah.
and chemicals and all of that. So getting that away from our home and also having a space separate from where we lived to be able to go and do focused work when I was there. So I had a huge block around that at first because I thought I can't afford a studio, but then the mindset shift of like, well, I'm gonna get a lot more done when I'm there, and eventually, it's just gonna pay for itself rather than
Mm.
sitting there, it's just sitting at 11 p.m. at night and, like, looking over at the bench in the corner of the living room and thinking, I'm just gonna do one thing," and then all of a sudden it's 1 a.m. and yeah. So getting a studio was a huge thing for me, and another block I had was getting help, any sort of help, like we talked about before. Um, but now I've ended up getting a bookkeeper who's helping me with all the numbers, which I hate. It's like a draining task, and I never really knew if I was doing it right or not.
Mhm.
So it was a constant stress and anxiety. So hiring a bookkeeper who's making sure that everything's in order, is another huge win that I've sorted out more recently. So that's awesome. Um, and yeah, getting the wholesale catalog set up and working for me as well. I've had several wholesale orders since I got that started. So I'm in several stores in BC now. And I've learned how to I've learned to believe more in my designs, to be able to sell them to stockists, um, which before I thought, "Who's like, why would anyone want my jewelry, right?" But now I know that they
Mm.
do, and I can even, you know, like I've turned several no's or not right now's into yeses at this point. And it's been so helpful being able to chat to you, Robin, Um, sometimes if I've if I've had a response from a store getting back to me saying, it's like kind of out of our price range and our customers don't pay that much for jewelry or um and being able to talk to you about like how do I best respond to this?
Mhm.
Um, because you've got that kind of insight into the industry and you know how things work
Mhm.
and what stockists are looking for. So I've been able to turn several of those no's or not right nows into yeses at this stage, which is feels super. So they feel so great. This year I had my biggest. Oh, actually, it was in the fall, but within the last year, I had my biggest wholesale order ever from like a big, like well-known store in
Yeah.
BC, um, which um, again added to my list of proof that yeah, again, just a proof of concept that people like my jewelry and they believe
Yeah.
in what I do.
Are you comfortable putting numbers to that? No problem if not. I'm just curious.
No, that's okay. That was a $3,000 order, and it was
Mhm.
not the only order I got that month. It was actually shortly after we had our Q3 reset call last year,
Yeah.
and what ended up happening was it was the Q4 actually. So it's the
People
last
are
quarter of the year.
planning.
It's the Q4, yeah. And we sat down and I said, "Well, I don't know about, I'm a bit late with the wholesale part of things because like stores probably put their orders in already and like, yeah, I'm just late on the ball." And so we agreed that um, you know, maybe a 3 or I can't remember the number exactly, but we said like let's set a healthy goal but a realistic one for Q4. And I hit that within the first month of
I
Q4.
remember that.
Yeah.
That was wild. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
were like, "I don't even think there's any point doing wholesale now. It's
Yeah.
like we've missed the ball," and so you set that goal. I think I remember this now.
Yeah.
I think it was 3,000. And yeah,
Yeah, maybe
you
it
hit
was
it
3.
so quick, and I think then we gave you a stretch goal. Did we do that? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
did we? Or I think I didn't because again, I was running into the bottleneck that I always run
Yeah.
into where I was like, well, if I get another wholesale order like this,
You
I
won't
don't
have
know if I can finish
time.
it for Christmas and I want to be able to deliver on time. So
Oh
we
my
capped
gosh.
it, but like, yeah.
Okay, talk to us about you saw it as a bad thing last year, but I saw it as the dream problem that every single jewelry business owner would love to take away from you, which is in December, you came to a call and you were like, Robin, I feel a lot, something along the lines, you can correct me, but it was something along the lines of like, I feel like don't want to use the word failure, but it was like you weren't feeling good because you're like, I've had to close orders because we've hit capacity of our order limits, and I'm like getting these all shipped out, and then I'm going on holiday to see my family, and like I feel bad. I should be taking these orders, but like you hit capacity. You got so many orders wholesale and online that you had to close down like 3 weeks before Christmas. Correct me on the details.
No, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened. That's pretty much what happened, which is, again, it's a great problem to have. There was just a lot of frustration on my part that I was turning into another bottleneck where I was like, if I had help and if I had done a few more of the things that Robin had told me to do at this stage, I could have had more capacity. But it just gave me more things to work on this year. So it was hard to see it at the time, but it was all a result of hitting some goals really early on that originally I didn't think that I could even hit. So
Yeah.
it's all about reframing that.
Oh, 100%.
And I mean, this year, which we haven't even talked about, but
Yeah.
that's been a huge win for me this year. Was I got my first new design made and cast with a super successful marketing campaign and launch. I've never sold that many pieces within such a short period of time of like the same piece of jewelry.
Mm.
Um, and again, just finally realizing that people like this because it's a cute piece that that is meaningful and that I designed. And yeah, I made the original, but then it's been cast and I'm finishing the pieces one by one, but they're not all made entirely from scratch because it would have taken me a year to make that many pieces of
Okay, yeah,
that
I'm
one
so
thing.
glad you brought this up. I can't even believe we've waited this long to talk
No.
about this. So, I think, would you say the one of the biggest wins this year is your 3 sold out launches of this one design, your snail necklace?
Two sold out,
2
but
sold out.
I'm about to open up the wait list again
Mm,
today, and I've still got people on the wait list from the previous ones too. So this I'm really excited to get started on it again.
yeah, you
But
absolutely
yeah,
crushed these launches. Like, absolutely crushed them, and, what's been awesome to see is your first launch you sold out in, was it in a day?
well, technically it was in
2
2 days,
days.
but really was in minutes because I had a half-hour live where I sold almost all of them, and then I only had one left, and then that one didn't go live until the next morning, and
Mm,
I uploaded it on the website, like posted the listing, and the email didn't have time to go out even because it was already gone. Like people knew at
wow.
9 o'clock it's gonna be there, and someone snatched it within a minute. So the yeah, really quickly the first time, and the second time was unreal. I've never heard my phone ding the way it did the second time, which was it was a crazy feeling. I thought it was gonna crash. It was like ding 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 ding. Ding. All the orders just came in at once. So yeah, it was like something just it was a big shift for me with this
This
launch
launch.
and the marketing of it and creating content for it and making it fun and entertaining for people so people didn't only like appreciate the piece, but they liked seeing all of the content surrounding it as well. So it made it really fun.
Oh man, it was one of the best launches I've seen. And you just like the passion and the fun that you had in the content. I can see it doesn't even feel like it was a crazy amount of like it didn't feel like work, even though it does feel like work when you're doing it. But your energy was so good throughout that whole launch and then the relaunch. Now, when you did the relaunch, correct me if I'm wrong, you more than doubled the inventory for that launch. And then that is the launch that sold out in a couple of minutes. The ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I tripled the inventory, I think. Yeah.
Incredible. And
So
so for someone
yeah.
listening who's like, "Oh my gosh, to have a sold out launch and then another sold out launch and like have this like you really crush like following the launch framework or like the principles of a of like the launch framework and also just have fun with it like you don't even have to be rigid in it, you follow and like kind of flow with it, which I
Mm.
love. But there's going to be people listening being like, oh, well, she's obviously hustling nonstop. But I know some of the content was posted from your bed while you were sick.
Yeah, yeah, it was because I was sick for at least a couple of weeks, I think. We were like, or not me, but like I was sick for a week. My like William was sick for a week before that, so we were sleep deprived. And there was just a lot going on. And again, I like to spend time with William. So I it was the first time that I spent way more time on marketing than on making, if that makes sense. The
Mm-hmm.
making happened first, but then the launch was mostly, just sending emails and posting things on my phone because the other
Mm-hmm.
work was already done, and then a bit of finishing work for the pieces after that. So it was very different. But yeah, I did not spend nearly as much time as it may seem.
Yeah.
um,
It's phenomenal. And we did a case study of you and your first launch in the Jewelry Business Academy for our clients. And like you shared everything. Like we looked at emails, content, stuff that like people listening, like there's stuff that was happening behind the scenes that you don't even know happens during a launch. And we dived into all of those things and DMs and stuff. And it was so inspiring even for our other clients to see, to be like, okay, this is possible with limited time, with a baby at home, with navigating like not being in perfect health, and also just having fun. And so yeah, you absolutely crushed those launches, and I'm so excited for the third one because I just know like, yeah, I know this is going to be a good one. How does it feel having got to the stage in business where it's like, hey, like things are clicking, clicking, clicking now. What I find is like in the earlier stages of business, you build momentum slower and then you keep showing up and things click into place and momentum starts building faster. And I feel like you're kind of getting into that place where it builds faster and you don't have to show up as much. How does that feel?
Oh, that's true. It's still a work in progress, but like, slowly transitioning my collection into more pieces that can be cast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a lot of designs that just are not perfect for casting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take a little while, but just doing it bit by bit, I think is going to make a huge difference over time. And um, it's just so cool to finally not hold back because I'm scared of getting the orders, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Because
a hundred percent.
I was terrified of getting some orders before because I knew like if I get an order for this one piece, even if it's just one, that's like a week of me in the studio finishing this.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not charging for all of that time. And it's just like, yeah, now I can make sure, which has always been important for me too, that the people who want one of these can get one.
Yeah.
And I know that
I
I'll be able to make them. And it won't take me 2 years.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much, Anna, and I'm just so thrilled for you. And I think it's going to just be really inspiring for someone listening to this, being like, okay, this is proof. Our brains need proof that what we're trying to do is possible for us too. And there's lots of evidence of like successful jewelry business owners out there who don't have kids, but like moms with a toddler at home navigating real life who are like going through these real life transitions in business and stuff and actually doing what you've done now, multiple launches, sold out collections, you're going to go into another one, letting go of parts of the business. Like this is evidence for someone listening, like, okay, this is possible for me too. So thank you for sharing that. And you should just be like so proud of like what you've done here, what you've achieved, because it's so inspiring, Anna. And I'm just thrilled for you. Like I'm so excited. What's next? Like what's the big goal over the next 12 months?
Ooh, over the next 12 months. Okay. Over the next 12 months, my goal is to spend most of my time at the end of 12 months, spend most of my time just designing new jewelry for people because that's what everyone wants me to
Yeah.
do. Design new pieces and ask for the help to finish them, to bring them to life. So yeah, getting systems in place, maybe getting um, hire someone to help me finish pieces. And eventually probably um, maybe not even having my studio anymore. Being able to just focus my time on designing full time.
Mm,
Or if I do keep my studio, just to go in and like do the prototypes, but just not spend um, day after day after day just manufacturing the same things over and over and using my time to create new things.
I love that. That is a beautiful goal. And I know you're going to bring that to life even faster than 12 months. Because
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. It's in the works.
we got on a call just before you went away, I think. Are
Mhm.
you open to sharing briefly like how you were feeling when you came to that call and then how you felt after? Because I think it was like you had these goals that you're like, in a year from now, here's what I want to be doing, blah, blah, blah. And in 30 minutes, we were like, this is happening from today.
Oh
Do
my
you
gosh.
remember
Yeah.
that?
Robin, that was such a funny call. Thinking back to it, like, yeah, it's funny sometimes how you just need someone to give you permission to do something. Even though it's
Mm-hmm.
like my business and yeah, I can do what I want, but I needed to have that external permission of like, yeah, but if you want to do this, you can just do it, and you don't have to wait. You can do it now. You can do it tomorrow. Like, no one's
Mhm.
gonna say anything. You don't have anyone to answer to. Um, so so yeah, the fact that I was saying, like I'm not enjoying manufacturing hundreds and hundreds of the same things now that I'm in multiple stores, and I it's taking time away from doing what I'm passionate about and designing new things.
Mhm.
You were like, well, don't then. Like, have someone help you cast more things. Like, you can take the pieces that you don't enjoy making, you can take them off of the website today, and nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's bad is gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I immediately started doing, like, as soon as we were off the call, I went on my website and I took down the things that I felt like I don't have capacity for doing right now, which was it was so nice going into because I went on vacation after that too, and going on to like my vacation knowing that I'm in charge of my business and what happens from now on. So
Yeah, I like that. It made me so happy that you like came to this call and it felt like such a big, heavy thing that this is a big goal for the next year or whatever. And then like we got that sorted in 30 minutes. You remove the stuff from your website, go on your vacation, enjoy your life, and also now enjoy not having to do that part of the business.
yeah,
I'm kind of curious if you weren't in the academy, if you weren't being coached by me, if you didn't have a support system like that, how long do you think it would have taken to make that shift in your business?
I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't been working with you, Robin, because it's been a process getting to that stage and getting to those realizations.
Mhm.
Um, I think what would have ended up happening is I would have kept spinning my wheels, and then William came along and would have had less and less time. I would have gone on a up until now, like, yeah, 2-year um, leave
Mhm.
because I wouldn't have found the time. I would have had so much resentment towards what I was doing as well. I don't think I would have seen a way forward on my own, um, with what things needed to change
Mm.
because you get so stuck in your own head, and having conversations with you and with other jewelry business owners in the academy as well, and um, seeing how other people do things and
Mhm.
realizing that there's multiple ways of doing stuff,
Mhm.
um, was what helped me get to where I am right now and do the changes that I
Mm.
have. So
Yeah, I find the same, quite honestly, in my business. Sometimes as a business owner, you're just so involved day to day. You're too close to the business sometimes to see things from a different perspective, how like easy it is to flip and switch. So I've had the same experience. That's why I love working with coaches, because it's like you need sometimes someone else's perspective or eyes or whatever to like see stuff that you just don't see because you're so in it. You're so like in the day to day. And I know we're over time. Do you have 10 more minutes or should we
yeah,
wrap up? You're
no,
good?
I've got 10 more minutes. It's all
Okay,
good.
we'll keep this snappy. For anyone listening who's like, oh my gosh, like you're crushing it. This is awesome. I'm kind of curious, like, what's your overall experience been of working with me, being in the academy, coming to group coaching calls? What would you say over the last 2.5 years?
It's been so fun. I've made so many new friends, which was something I didn't expect. Gotten to know so many people, like both, like some are even around my area, but there are people all over the world. And it's a really tight knit community of supportive people. So that's been amazing. Um, and yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm always blown away by how much direct access we have to you, Robin. The way that you are showing up every week and giving us, even though it's in a group setting, it's one-on-one advice, um, which you have so much insight into each and everyone's business, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it's just been way more valuable in that way than I kind of dared hope for. Because I was
Mhm.
in some different programs before joining um, you in the JBA, and it was nothing like this.
Mm. That's interesting to hear. What do you think? Like, I'm just curious because I know we're going to have somebody listening who's probably like gone through the similar experience to you, where they've gone through other programs or done free stuff online, or just used chats. I don't know, to help with their business, and they're like, I don't know. Like, I've done other programs, they weren't for me. What would you say to them? What would you say is different?
Well, the difference is again that we get the direct access. We get like personal coaching from you,
Hmm.
which is a huge thing. I find that the things that I've participated in the past, um, it's been pretty generic advice, or it's just been a bunch of like download these PDFs and follow this list kind of thing.
Hmm.
And then you can ask questions, and maybe someone will get back to you in some Facebook group that no one is really um, looking at. Um,
Mm.
or it's being um, just, sorry, what's the word when you have someone else, like you give it to someone else to do. Um,
Outsourced
like
coaching.
outsourcing, or like, yeah, we think we're going to be coached by you, but then you've got a bunch of other people working for you that like, so there's someone you don't even know who they are, um, doing the actual coaching,
Mm.
and answering your questions and things. So the fact that it just feels way more personal, and close to you. So I think that was what was most appealing to me right from the start.
Mm.
The Facebook group so good to be able to feel like you have somewhere to turn all the time. I mean, we have the coaching calls, which is twice a week, where we can always come and ask the questions or talk through the blocks that we have, um, and also get so much value from what other people are sharing in those calls as well. But then, even when we don't have the calls, we can always turn to the Facebook group, and you're in there like every day and
Mhm.
answering our questions that need looked at like right now. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like we have questions that are like so urgent, I can't wait till next week. And then we can get them down there. So yeah, it's it's been great. That's why I'm
Mm.
still here,
Yeah, 2 and a
and
half years
going,
in.
yeah, going on my third year, and it's just so valuable.
Oh, I love that. It's so good to hear, and I'm curious, was there anything that almost stopped you from joining us back at the beginning?
There was, I will say, I'm always so careful with my money,
Mm.
and very hesitant to spend money on things that I don't know if they're worth it, or investing in myself as well, whether it's like work related or personal.
Mhm.
So I did have a big fear around the investment of joining, um, to start. But then I also had this conviction that like I'm I believe in my business, and I'm so ready to do this. And I know that if I just do like take the steps and do the things, and I'm open for that, I'm gonna make that money back. And I did, like, pretty quickly. So
Mm, amazing. Yeah, I love hearing that. And I definitely know you're not alone in like having those concerns because those are very, very valid. I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you. So we just like share whatever comes to mind. But I know we're going
I'll
to have people
try.
listening who are like, okay, this sounds amazing. I've been listening to the podcast for forever. I want to come join the Jewelry Business Academy. I want to come work with Robin. I've had it on my dream board. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wait like a couple of months, or I'm going to wait a couple of years, but I'm going to do it one day. What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, we covered that before a little bit, but like, there's no, every single day that you wait to
Hmm.
take that step, it's pretty much wasted time. I should have joined way earlier than I did, because every day that I wasn't in it, I was just treading water and not getting anywhere.
Mm.
So you think that you need to wait until you're ready, but really, that's what the whole program is about, like taking you to that stage. So it's best to just jump right in.
Mm. Yeah, I love that advice. And for someone who's a new mom or about to be a new mom who's like, "Okay, but I'm going to have such limited time. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to really utilize the program that much." What would you say to them?
I've had so much use of it, in the time, again, both before William came, but also, since then, because, it can be very hard to prioritize when you have limited time, and
Mhm.
doing the right things, and so, um it's easy to join the calls. I join the calls all the time, like, even if William's around or we're out for a walk or, early days, he was sleeping most of the time, but, I try to join at least 1 call a week,
Mhm.
where you can ask questions and talk about what you're working on at the time or what you should focus on. So I think especially if you have limited time, um,
Mhm.
then that's a good reason to join.
Yeah, that's really a good great perspective for sure. And for someone who's like, "Okay, this is awesome, but like I need to generate more sales, more consistent sales. So like before I come in and like learn how to make more money and scale the business."
Well, then I don't really see, like, why you would I don't know. That's kind of what the JBA is for, getting those sales in the first place.
Yeah.
I understand that it might be a thing of, like, making sure you have the money maybe, like, because I had a bit of that, like I said, making
Mhm.
sure I had enough revenue to justify, spending the money on myself, and the business and investing, but, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
So it's you just gotta swap those things around, like, you do the investment first, and then that helps bring that revenue in. Um, like, yeah, people say you gotta spend money to make money sometimes, so
Yeah, yeah, definitely in business. There's definitely an element of that. This has been so fun, Anna. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you wanted to share before we wrap things up?
no, I think we've covered
We covered
everything.
it all.
Yeah, but I do wanna say thank you again, Robin, to you, though, 'cause, it's been 2.5 amazing years, and, I know, like, yeah, I'm doing the work, but, the support that we get from you is, game changing. Um, and yeah, my business would not look like it does today, if I hadn't been working with you. So
Oh, you're going to get me all emotional here. Thank you so much, Anna. I really appreciate your kind words. And it's just been an absolute joy having you in the academy, seeing you on calls, seeing William on calls, seeing you at the retreat. That was just so special. I didn't think you'd be able to come because of William. And so having him and having your husband and him come to Kelowna for that time was also just wonderful. But yeah,
it
I'm
was the best time.
so excited for you. So, grateful for you to come on and just share your journey and wins and mindset blocks and stuff so openly because I love working with you. I love having you in the academy. And quite honestly, we want more people like you who are kind, friendly, diligent, hardworking, show up, ask questions, get vulnerable. Because you're just an absolute joy to work with. So, yeah, we want more people like Anna for sure. So, if that's
Oh,
you
that makes me
listening,
happy. Thank you.
yeah, we want more Annas in this community. But Anna, I know there's going to be people listening along being like, "Okay, I have got to follow Anna. I've got to go ahead, support her. I want to check out that that necklace that's been selling out and maybe get one for my birthday or for a friend's birthday or whatever." So, where can our listeners find you and how can they support you?
Yeah, oh, I'm so excited for this launch with the little snail necklace, the little wanderer. So yeah, it's gonna be a limited drop again, so there's only a certain number. Because then I've got new exciting things to work on in the fall. But my Instagram is Silfr by Anna. It's got a funny spelling because it's like a Nordic spelling, but Silfr by Anna. So that's probably the best way to find me. And I love connecting with people. So if anyone has any questions about this that we've been talking about today, or my jewelry or anything else at all, please send me a DM on there. Because I just, yeah, love chatting to people. So
Amazing. We will link all those in the show notes. So anyone listening can go follow along, connect with Anna, support her, get that little necklace if you're able to, because goodness knows it's going to sell out in seconds again.
there's a risk, yeah.
There's a very strong chance it's going to be sold out by the time you guys check it out. But Anna, thank you again for joining me. Thanks for taking time away from William to be here. I really appreciate you for doing that. And yeah, I'm excited to bring you back on in a few months to hear your updates because I know they're going to be good.
Yeah, this has been so fun. Thank you so much, Robin.